Hello, it's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and here I am looking a little disheveled, I know, but isn't that all to do with the forecast that we've got going on this week? Wow. Astrologically, this is a very, very significant week. We are feeling like we are in liminal space. We don't know which way to turn. We're feeling super emotional. It's like everything's coming back from the past. It's like places in us that we thought we'd healed or tended to, or, done a great deal of shadow work on, is back here biting our ass. I'm definitely feeling that way for sure. I've had to have a really restful weekend, taking myself away from everyone and everything just to recalibrate and say, okay, what is this going on inside of me? Which has made me feel very vulnerable, in fact, quite emotional, very teary. But I really feel much better after having given myself some space. So, what's coming up for you? How are you feeling first before you delve into kind of the intellectual understanding of what's going on? How are you feeling? What's happening for you? So, first of all, this is not gentle astrology. The astro-cosmological goddess has decided to zap us all so that we can really feel the things that are still holding us back. Yes, that's right. We think, oh my goodness, it's nearly July and we are nearly halfway through the year. And surely by now we should be going in the direction that we were going to go to. But remember, this is Firehorse year. Ain't that a fact with the weather the way it is as well? We're suffering from a really bad heat wave this week and the week before in France. And it's really making me feel about the Firehorse teachings that I gave at the beginning of the year and the caution about not galloping, not going full speed before we'd really burned some bridges at the beginning of the year. And I think this is the last kind of burning. This is the last Inanna Gate, shall we say. So we are really feeling this old emotions, old emotional identities. And there's a list of things going on planetary this week. We've got the moon today, the strawberry moon, and that full moon is in Capricorn. We've also got Mercury going retrograde in Cancer. I already felt this coming last week. I felt it. And then we've got Jupiter entering a Leo. This is the first in a lifetime for us. So that's affecting us. We've also got Mars moving toward Uranus in Gemini, and then Moon and Saturn creating pressure and emotional reality checks. So loads. I'm going to go through it one by one because each one of these is significantly important. Really, astrologically, there's always something going on, of course, but sometimes the things that go on really, really have this deep impact on us that can be life-changing. And this week is one of those weeks. So let's start off first with Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Now, people always go, oh, Mercury, things will go wrong. Well, of course they do. I had it this weekend. Last week, I had to pick up my son, who had been stranded about 3 times by public transport that was bringing him from one end of France to the other. That was kind of a little part of it. Miscommunication, of course. But this Mercury, because it's in Cancer, is really bringing up this emotional field in us. It's really bringing us back to memory, family, mother, home, childhood, and belonging. And that might mean that things to do with your really deep wounds are coming up, your inner child showing itself, your attachment styles, your projections on people, your unworthiness, anything that you've been dealing with from your inner child is going to really show itself up this week. And what we need to really feel with this Mercury in Cancer is the emotional landscape. Do not dismiss the emotional landscape. How am I feeling? What is going on emotionally for me? And how can I just contain myself, feel it, allow the process to happen without creating miscommunication or disharmony around me? Your psyche is refusing to leave any unfinished business behind. If there's things still haunting you from your past, you really need to address them and say, what is reoccurring now as Mercury goes retrograde again? So that inner child, your emotional body, your attachment to safety. What are you attaching to that makes you safe but is making you uncomfortable, for example? And who are you attaching to? Who do you use to completely lean into, to enmesh with, to not take responsibility for the full self, for your full spaces of emotional security, for your full financial security? Like, where in it are you outsourcing that as a person that may be leading to some problems in your life? Conversations that you've thought you've had might return this week, and you're thinking, surely I spoke to this person about, surely I've said this a million times. That will really, really do your head in, really do your head in. You'll begin to think about the old wounds that come up for resharing really what you've already shared. And people from your past definitely will come up in thought. You might get that text off the ex, normally someone bobs up from the past at this time. And when they do, really just know that they're coming up to show you that, have you healed that? Did you heal it? Or are you still caught up into the trap that was trying to show you? So be very, very careful of that. The energy in Mercury in retrograde is going to really be, oh my God, I need a therapist this week. And that might be your friend. You might all be chat GTBing the answers to some big life crisis. You might be speaking to your mum, your family, your lover, but you're going to feel like you just need to talk to someone about all the things that's going on. And this is normal. So I would say just heed warning towards your emotional sensitivity. Know that you're going to be emotionally sensitive, and so is everyone around you. So let's give everyone a little bit of space for that. You'll be feeling the younger you, or the patterns of the younger you, the way you behaved, the wounds from childhood might be coming up again, and you will be feeling like you need some reassurance and some hold and some care. And yeah, you're feeling like you just need some space. You're having mood swings, you're feeling oversensitive, and you just want to retreat from the world. That's what I did this weekend. I retreated, and I super enjoyed having that inner space to just really feel what was going on with me, and to, lie by the river and cuddle the dogs and go for a little swim and just like spend that time to really feel what was wanting to flow through me. So there's an emotional story that's taking place in your life right now, and it's asking to be revisited so that you can go forward from it. Please don't go backwards. Don't go back to the old story. So that's Mercury in retrograde, very emotional, very childhood wound-ish, very bringing up to complete certain cycles that you've been still stuck in. So then we've got the full moon, the beautiful pink strawberry moon. All those strawberries are going ripe in my strawberry patch. This is the moon that brings us kind of like, I always feel like a feminine energy. Cancer, we're in Cancer, so Cancer's saying bloody feel it. But Capricorn has a different energy. It's a bit harsher. Capricorn is saying, now take responsibility for it. You've been feeling that way. You've realized that you were in detrimental patterns with lovers, or that your family situation hasn't been good, or the job was shit. And then finally you say to yourself, okay, I've got to take responsibility for this. I've felt it. I've been emotional about it. And now I have to own what led me there in the first place. This is kind of the reflections I've been going through. So that might now need certain boundaries in your life with people. You might be saying, I'm not going to act this way, or maybe I need to get more of an emotional spine. Maybe I need to just speak more truth. So you really need to think of the things that got you into trouble in the past and what you're changing in order to take responsibility for it so that it doesn't happen in the future. You will get relationship checks under this moon. You will get to see the truth of a situation that you've deluded yourself about. You will feel emotional exhaustion. Now, I know loads of people are saying that to me. Oh my goodness, I am emotionally exhausted. Me too. I feel really like I've been in a cannonball and fired out. And that's normal under this astrology at the moment. Psychologically, it is super affecting us all. So fatigue has been a huge thing for me. Stronger boundaries have been huge for me. Saying yes, saying no, speaking out when things aren't right, and then being asked to act rather than simply feel. I often teach in my groups that we have to acknowledge it, feel it, emote it, release it, and then act on it. And generally, when I'm in guidance with women or I'm in guidance with other groups, it's that action piece that's generally missing. People miss that action piece out. So, where do I need to stop managing the feelings that I've got and begin honoring the truth with an action that will change what has been happening to you in that last cycle? So, a very powerful moon to think, okay, what actions do I need to take that out of the spaces I've been super emotional about? There we go. The biggie for me is Jupiter entering Leo. And biggie for all of us because this is a once in a lifetime thing for us. Jupiter entering Leo is a huge shift in the cosmological tone and within the psyche. Jupiter is moving from Cancer's very private emotional world and it's beginning to enter the Leo fire, the heart and the visibility. So this is a new cycle and I've really been feeling these spaces. It's easy for me to talk about this because I feel that this has been burning inside of me recently. So have a feel into that space in you where something has been burning that wants to move. And it's constellated around these words, like things like creativity, visibility. I need to be seen in this, in romance, in courage, play, performance, leadership, confidence, and authentic self-expression. We're going to see a lot of stuff move in the collective with regard to this. We see in our world a lot of non-authentic people, especially in our social media world, where they put on a front, they're priestesses or they're queens, but really inside their private life, they're sick or they're having huge relational problems. You know, I see it all the time in this work, people professing to be in sacred union and then the story comes out that it was hell for 2 years and then they make up some fluff up some story around why that didn't work rather than that they're just a normal human being that had entered into a bad relationship again. There's all these kind of supernatural, super fancy stories. We've kind of elevated in our world. We're seeing it on the dance floor. We have for the past cycle. This whole charading of celebrity guru. We see millionaire, billionaire spiritual people. So wrong. And that stage is going to fall in this cycle, thank God. And the reason for that is that the authentic people, the ones who have really been saying, yeah, my life's a shit show. I teach spirituality, but I suffer with confidence. And, you know, those have been really honest about their journey. Yeah, I make £1 million from that subscription. It's not really about healing your wound. Those people that have genuinely been doing the work, really authentically caring, I think on a smaller scale as well, Jupiter in Leo is going to bless them. And it's going to bring those people that haven't been seen to the forefront. But get this, if this feels like you and you're like, yes, I have so long been struggling with my visibility in whatever format that is in, whether it's your job and your romance as the type of person you are, as a great mother, whatever, you have to dare to be seen. You have to. How do you dare yourself to be seen? I find this very difficult as well. Visibility is very difficult for me. I do these podcasts, but I hate taking, you know, like I know for my work, I should be filming more and doing these things, but I don't really like that. I'm kind of scared to be fully visible. What might I lose from that? What might people say? You know, all this kind of thing. We all have these doubts about being visible. And so we have to make sure that when we're trying to think, oh, I need to be visible in this relationship or this marriage or, you know, this group, for example, I don't need to be polished. I don't need to please everybody. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be authentic. I just need to show up really, truly as I am and stop putting on a performance or wearing a persona or a mask. Blessings are going to come, Jupiter in Leo, to all those people who are authentic, to the vulnerable, to the open-hearted, and to the honest people, not the masks, not the fronting people, not the ones pretending, but the real authentic people are going to be blessed, because Jupiter in Leo will really expose performance. It's really going to expose it. The false crown will wobble. The veil will show us the Wizard of Oz. The inflated ego will be revealed. The person who's pretending to be sovereign might be shown to be the flounder. Leo reveals where we are acting from a true heart and where we are acting from an image. So this is asking you to share with yourself where you are being called to be seen truly as you are, rather than who you feel you have to perform to be accepted or to be seen. So that's big, big. And I'll probably come back to that again in the other podcasts and definitely within my community space. So if you're not in my community space, make sure you follow the link underneath to subscribe, because I often post a lot of free musings in there, a lot of ramblings, a lot of questions that's going on with the psychological, astrological feelings at this time. So let's move on to Mars moving towards Uranus in Gemini. This is quite a good one in that it's giving us breakthroughs, breakouts, and sudden words. Hurrah, I'm ready for a breakthrough. Who isn't? These cycles that I've been going through, I think, oh my goodness, like it really is about time that there was some movement. I feel like there are threads still on me that are holding me in a current situation, and I want all the threads to release so that I can really go. So Mars is in action, heat, anger, desire, and instinct. Good old Mars energy. And then Uranus is kind of in shock, liberation, realization, awakening, and sudden change. You might make some sudden decisions and say, okay, right, that's it, I'm booking that flight. Okay, that's it, I'm going to see that person. And in Gemini, this happens through words, communications, text, conversations, the media. We'll see things, breakthroughs coming through the media. The nervous system might show us certain things and want to change things for us too. We might get sudden ideas. I've had a few ideas coming through recently. We might have to have a space where we need to truth tell, where we say, okay, that's it. I'm telling the person this truth. But we will definitely be having sudden realizations. I would say that this is electric. It's like electric energy coming through, and it can bring breakthroughs, breakouts. It's reminding me last night of all the thunder and lightning in the garden. You know, it changes the energy, it changes the atmosphere, and it may bring truths out quicker than we would expect in your own life and in the collective life that we see in the media, in the world. Expect some truths to be coming out. And I think the biggest thing that we might say on a personal level is, I cannot keep doing this. I cannot stay in these same cycles. I cannot keep going through this same job day in and day out. I cannot stay in this relationship that isn't nurturing and loving me. So be careful with what you say, not because you need to be quiet or silence your truth, but just pick your words right, because this energy is going to make you want to speak fast and electric and lightning strike energy. So just take a little bit of time to make sure that you don't shoot thunderbolts or lightning bolts at people. Just be really cautious of that. Know that with the conversations that you are beginning to share or say, you're going to strike a match. You're going to start the fire. So be careful that you do that in a way that will gently light a fire rather than incinerate the very thing that you're trying to address. And so impulsive messages, no. Sudden endings might come up. Sudden clarity might come through. You might feel nervous system activations. I'm doing nervous system regulation every night at the moment, really religiously feeling that my nervous system needs to be regulated daily while all this astrology is going on. Technological or communication disruption, and also the need to break free. So we're going to be feeling it. We're going to pack those jobs in. We're going to tell that person it's over. We are feeling this electric energy through us. And I love the way this rolls into the Mars and Jupiter. Mars and Jupiter is big courage. I think over the last few energy reports that big courage has been coming through. This is big courage because we're at this initiation gate. I've called this the liminal gate because we are going to be moving through that great gate. Oh my goodness, we've gone through about 7 layers, haven't we? I want to reference Inanna here as the archetypal goddess, that we could really feel like we've been shredded and pulled away until we've reached a place right now, which the initiation gate is right in front of us. We're bare naked, and that's what this final naked truth is about, so that we can walk through this initiation gate. We make a big decision. We take a big chance. Move, speak, choose, do it now. Do it now. And this is a brilliant energy for courage, for gaining courage. Courage to step forward, courage to speak your mind, courage to tell them to shut their job, courage to tell someone it's over, courage to say to a friend, I can't do this anymore. You know, all of this is coming up at the moment. So the gift is that you will begin to harvest courage. It will make you brave. It will allow you to make the decision that you need to go through finally. And it can also exaggerate things like anger, pride, or impulsiveness. So be aware of impulsiveness which would go against making a real clear decision, if you know what I mean. No gut reaction, quick, fast, because that could be from a wound, from anger, from fear. And we need this to be from a deep instinctual knowing, not a quick, fast reaction. You know the difference between the two in your body. So be very careful of that. But ask where in your life at the moment is asking you to be much bolder, but not reckless. So we're feeling all of this under the guise and gate of the moon and the Saturn under really deep pressure. I don't want to go into this part too much. I could actually do another podcast on this, but the moon is really in that wounded child meets the inner elder. And like I say, I don't want to complicate it, but think back what I said about this Cancer energy with the mother, with the inner child, with all these things coming up to be thought about and felt. When we get the inner child, we've got to find the inner mother within us or the inner elder that can help that child. So there needs to be two parts of your personality. One, the inner child. You know, we all act like a child. We're all big babies, really, aren't we? Reacting to everyone and everything in our wounding. But where is the inner elder, the inner mother in you that could actually help you feel safe, help you feel guided into behaving in a different way? So I want to leave that there. But just know, as we're dealing with all this inner child stuff, that there is a part of you that is more guided, shall we say. And I think that I wanted to say that because I will write in the community about Inanna as a legend, because, not just a legend, but an archetypal goddess in the feminine field that went through so many initiations of stripping the self, that she ended up bare naked, vulnerable, loads of inner child stuff stripped away from her, and she had to meet a higher self, her inner elder, the mother within, to pass through the liminal gate. And this is the story, really, of your story, your old story, and the new version of you, the new self. All this energy, literally all of it, is working towards that. It's trying to strip humanity of its utter bullshit. It's trying to strip you of your old stories, your old ways, and change you for the better. This liminal space, again, I'll write about liminal space in the community, is really a deep, well-known sacred space, an initiation space between a beginning and an ending. And your old identity is loosening. Your new form has yet not fully appeared. I know it's super frustrating. Tell me about it. But the energy of this is absolutely frustrating. And I am a control freak. So I'm trying to control it and micromanage it on every level possible. And none of it is working for me anymore. That old way of control and the animus in me doesn't work anymore, because the new version of me, the new self, she doesn't need that behavior. A lot of that was developed through my wounded child. So know these things about yourself. Know the old versions of you. Know how you used to behave. Know what you used to put up with. Know your patterns and what you used to do, and try to not behave that way at all. That might make you feel raw, restless, really emotional. You're feeling really exposed. You're impatient. You feel also excited and scared at the same time because big changes are coming. But you're also really bloody ready for this. I think I've been gone through this liminal threshold. I've been looking at Inanna's Gate for the last 2 years. I remember reading Maureen Murdoch, The Heroine's Journey, and I pulled it off the shelf this weekend and I read it again. And I am in that liminal space. I'm in that threshold of the woman that's entering a complete new domicile of her life. And I really, really feel that, like, what, 2 years? I had to wait 2 years. But honestly, the stuff I've learned in the last 2 years has been incredible about myself. Like, I was so convinced I was somebody else and behaved in ways that were through my wounding, that were through places of insecurity and unworthiness and all of those things that we hold. And now I've got a pretty good idea of what this new version of me looks like and how she will act in the future rather than in the past. So it is a deep initiation that we're into. Can you recognize yourself there? Can you feel that you are being stripped back? And what are you being stripped back from? And then if you can strip back, if you can really acknowledge that that's being stripped back, then you can then allow for what is going to come to be revealed to you to step forward. Something true is coming through, something more aligned with who you should be rather than who you have been. So what part of you has already left your old life? What did that look like? And, can you welcome this new version of you where you don't really recognize yourself yet? And that is all right. As you descend through the mythical gates, as we stand in this liminal ground, we must remember the mythic tale of Inanna, and how she was stripped of all her power, of what she thought was power, of everything that she thought about herself, and how she then was asked to walk through this space where she was being initiated into a much better version of herself. And the Jupiter in Leo energy is really about that. It's about stripping the falseness away so that you can, your true inner, the Leo heart. Think about Leo as this courageous, brave lion heart that wants to reveal itself to the world. That's you. This is the liminal space that you're in. So I wrote a load of notes here, and I will put these in my community space, because I have an idea that I will open up a community space that can be paid for. It's going to be very minimal cost. And after every energy forecast, I will put in the myth of the goddess, archetypal goddess that will help you through this transition, and that there will be lots of questions into each of these areas, because I know a lot of my viewers and listeners and subscribers really love to do the inner transformation. that's the caliber of people I love working with, and that's you that are listens that really do want to search deep inside themselves rather than just wear spirituality like a crown, really do the deep diving work. So I will be sharing this in my Women That Runs with Wolves groups. There's thousands of people in my Facebook group. So really happy to share all of this. You're all invited to my inner temple on my website, which will be shared through my newsletter today, and tomorrow there will be one sent out with regards to this specifically. So make sure you look at the links below this video so that you don't miss out on that. I've also got this week the next Women as Myth, Women as the Living Myth interview with the Duchess of Rutland, so Her Grace Emma, who I'm a very dear friend. I've worked with Emma. She is an amazing, inspirational woman. She's gone through deep initiations also through the gates of Inanna, and her interview will be linked under this if you're in my newsletter, and it's well worth listening to her story. She is inspiring. She reveals what it's like living in the Duchess archetype and how actually suffering is there for everyone, regardless of title. So take a listen to that. I'm wishing you all a blessed week. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be emotional. It's going to push some buttons. It's going to ask you to step into the new version of you. But this is all positive. It's coming. It's coming. I promise you that it's coming. And this energy this week, if you work with it, can really help the quick fire now of how we're going to move forward. So take care of yourselves. Please share, like, subscribe. Like I say, my work depends on you doing that. But most of all, take care of yourself. I'm sending so much love. Bye for now.